And just like that, we are on day 2 of our Uyuni tour. We've got a new tour guide today, and we're excited to head off. Our first stop, we've come to this cool train cemetery, which is like 10 minutes outside of the main town. Also, we just learned from our tour guide already that Uyuni means place of water, so it's pretty interesting, didn't know that. And yeah, so Potosi is a town that's nearby that we were thinking of maybe going to, and we just learned that it's got really rich history, and that's why there are all these trains here that get fixed. But sadly, these are all now unusable trains, but we can go jump on them and get some pictures, so we're going to go do that. But how cool is this? Feeling a bit warmer today. It is cold in the desert, but yeah, we're going to head off to see some cool sights again today, so let's go. Oh, all aboard.
This place is amazing. There's about 20 or so trains here, and I really need to watch my step because there's big holes in the floor. We're just going to have our picture taken on the coal carriage of this locomotive. But look, you can see into the old boiler here. Let's get the camera to go in there. Amazingly, you can see all this stuff. Let's look out the window. Hi Kirsty.
Hola.
Hi Ismail.
Hi, hello.
We go here. You can see all the way to the front of the gutted locomotive. Thank you.
Hold hands. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe one more.
They're good?
Is that good?
If, like us, you're wondering why there are over 100 trains abandoned out here in the desert of Uyuni, it's because the first train line in Bolivia was built here back in the 1890s. It was built by British engineers who had arrived in Uyuni and formed a sizable community here. The rail construction was encouraged by the Bolivian president at the time, who believed Bolivia would flourish with a good transport system. But unfortunately, it was constantly sabotaged by the local Aymara indigenous Indians, who saw it as an intrusion into their lives. But this was not the reason for the downfall of the Bolivian railway. The trains were mostly used by the mining companies, transporting tin, silver and gold. And although the trains arrived to Bolivia with huge expectations of economic progress, sadly it didn't work out, as Bolivia lost its access to the sea during the War of the Pacific, where Chile was left with the Department of the Atacama. Without access to the sea, Bolivia had nowhere to continue exporting its mining. And so here you see the fate of these locomotives in their final resting place at the world's largest train cemetery. As the train cemetery is not an official museum, there are no rules or security, which means a lot of graffiti. And as you can see here, it's possible to climb around, explore and take cool pictures, and just really get an up-close look at these historic trains slowly rusting away in the desert.
It's fun to climb up into. Wow. Kirsty making climbing through this window look elegant.
Elegant? Did you film that? That would have been a lot of butt shot. That looked an easier route than trying to squeeze through that little window that I did.
It's not so fun coming down this bit.
Easy peasy.
Actually, that was easy.
It's like an adult's playground. We're Craig and Kirsty, a couple who have been on the road for the past 3 years sharing our adventures around the world. Right now we're making our way through South America and exploring everything it has to offer. If you enjoy seeing new places and real experiences, please subscribe and welcome to the adventures of Tide Knot Travellers.
we've driven about 40 minutes north of Uyuni and we've arrived in the small village of Colchani, which is like the gateway to the Salar de Uyuni, and we've just come in to see like a salt mine, and I think there's some market stalls and things to see outside afterwards.
Sometimes the wind could get
Yeah, you did.
Thank you. I failed at the start.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Gracias. I'll have a natural collecting salt. There you go, quarter of a kilo in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, you need to bend like this. Now just touch a little bit and move slowly.
But how do I not burn my fingers?
Don't worry, don't worry.
Don't worry. This is how you seal it. Hopefully I won't burn my fingers off. Oh, cool. Not convinced I've sealed it that well. Wow, it's actually sealed. It's a very rustic process here. I wouldn't say it's a professional job, but happy with that for my first attempt. Apparently he said that in Bolivia the processes are still very old-fashioned, and this is literally how it's all done. So you can buy this for 2 Bolivianos, but I don't think we're going to because we don't really need it. It's just going to spill out everywhere. Otherwise we would. We're going to travel tomorrow.
Seen upside down.
I didn't trust this. It's a nice little stop off in Colchani, and we got to see the salt in all its different forms and bag it up ourselves, which was fun. There's little market stalls. It's very touristy, lots of people here, but it's a nice little stop off on the way. It's good to see this final result where the salt ends up as well. It's pretty cool. Loads of cute little markets everywhere. People selling you little handcrafts, and sleepy doggies everywhere. We are officially standing on the world's biggest salt flat, 12,000 square kilometres, bigger than a lot of countries, and I've just learned as well from our tour guide that the water that you can see around me, you can see bubbles. You think it'd be hot, but it's actually cold. So it's heated, and that's what's causing the bubbles from the volcano over there, but by the time it mixes with the cold water, it's pretty cold, but still bubbling. There's a tiny little one here, you can just see there. It's actually freezing cold. Bubbling away from the volcanic activity, but it's still cold. Actually freezing cold. Right, we're going to head off to the next point now, see a bit more salt.
Next up, we've stopped off at the sign and the monument for the Dakar Rally. As you can see over my shoulder, here's the sign, and just over there with all the flags, we're going to walk over there in a second, is the monument.
This colourful monument was built here in 2014 in honour of the Dakar Rally route, which is one of the most dangerous races in the world. The route started in Lima, the capital city of Peru, and came through La Paz and Uyuni here in Bolivia before finishing up in Cordoba in Argentina, 14 days after it started. The monument is of course made of salt, representing the passage of the Dakar Rally through the Salar de Uyuni. Flags nearby are placed to represent the countries of the participants, and it all creates a really colourful photo spot for tourists. So our tour guide has also just told us that apparently a couple of weeks ago there was a Bolivian couple from La Paz who drove their own car onto the salt, which you're allowed to do, but it's very dangerous. And unfortunately they cracked through the salt where it was thinner, and their whole car went in the water, and they were still on the roof of their car and got rescued. So yeah, I can see why they recommend doing tours here and not driving your own car on. But then maybe that was just my tour guide saying that so that we would say everyone needs to get tours, but we've been told many times that it's just not safe. And it's so vast, you can just get lost out here. Luckily the couple were rescued and they were taken to a hospital because they were in a pretty bad way because they got stuck out here for a long time because this place is huge. But yeah, hopefully our car won't crack through the salt today. Fingers crossed.
We're here at the Dakar Flag Monument and there are so many flags. It's really cool just out here in the middle of the salt flats. Unfortunately, there's no flag of St George or UK flag, which is a bit disappointing. Maybe that's something to do with who competes in the Dakar Rally, I'm not sure. But and as well as the Dakar Memorial, there's also this little salt hotel. How cool is this place? Everything is made out of salt. So even all the little tables and the little chairs or stools. You can see here there's a little statue made out of salt. The walls are made out of salt. And even this clock as well. And all the pillars, everything made out of salt. Amazing.
So we've just driven about another 20 minutes deep out into the salt flats, and it feels like we've just stopped here in the middle of nowhere, which is amazing. It's just white as far as the eye can see and just blue sky above us. So our lovely tour guides have brought lunch with us and tables. They've just lifted it all off of the car, ready to set up our lunch for us. So had a nice little tale about what's happening here in this part of the world, which is always nice to hear. And we're just going to enjoy lunch out here in the biggest salt flat in the world. Amazing.
On the horizon over there, that is a volcano, and just look at these perfectly hexagonal salt deposits on the ground. So awesome, never seen anything like this. And that contrast between the white ground and the blue sky, incredible.
Eating lunch out here in the middle of the salt flat was a really unique and fun experience. Feeling so out in the open in this vast setting, yet not seeing another person, which is surprising considering over 90,000 visitors come to the Salar de Uyuni every year. Located at nearly 12,000 feet or 3,658 metres above sea level in Bolivia's southwest corner, the world's largest salt flat formed as a result of thousands of years of transformations among several prehistoric lakes. What amazed us, besides the incredible vast white scenery, was the way that the salt has formed perfectly into these geometric shapes, mostly hexagons, which according to the internet are generated by convection of high and low salinity water underground. Either way, it was really cool to see nature showing us once again who the real artist is of this world. The Salar de Uyuni is the world's largest salt flat, and it's considered to be one of the most extreme and remarkable vistas in South America. But it's much more than just a beautiful place to look at. The salt flat contains over 10 billion tonnes of salt, which is extracted daily and exported internationally. Not to mention, the Salar also contains around 5.4 million tonnes of lithium. Bolivia holds around 7% of the world's known lithium resources, and most of that lies here in the Salar de Uyuni. That's a lot of battery power hidden in amongst this beautiful salty landscape. The flatness of this scenery makes for a great opportunity to have a lot of fun with photography and videos. And coming on these tours out into the salt flats includes plenty of opportunities to take pictures and videos. This is an aspect of tours that we usually don't like, as we feel rushed and it makes filming really difficult for us. But our tour guide did a really good job of giving us space to enjoy and do our own filming, as well as coming up with great ideas for fun videos and pictures. And we all had a lot of fun creating these crazy shots. If you want to see more dodgy dance moves and quirky shots out on the salt flats, check out our Instagram stories of Bolivia, as we shared them all there.
At our next stop of the day, this crazy place in the middle of the Salar, Cactus Island.
As if the salt flats weren't cool enough already. And then you just drive along and this appears.
And they're not just like I don't know, average little cactus. They are epic looking cactus.
Yeah,
they
they're
really
massive.
do love to grow in the most harsh environment
Yeah.
possible. It's crazy.
When you think of an island, you think of it surrounded by water. This is a cactus island surrounded by white flat salt. It's just so surreal.
Yeah, it looks incredible. Apparently we've got to pay to go on the island, so let's go and get a ticket.
Yeah, it's 30 Bolivianos per person to go on there. But there's baños, toilets to use as well. So yeah, worth it to go and see these giant cactus in the middle of salt.
In the middle of a dried up salt lake.
What
They've
a
also
surreal
got
day.
all these benches around as well
Oh yeah,
that are made of salt.
of course.
And also just bumped into, I noticed that 4x4 down there has Salt Life written on the side of it, and I was like, oh, that's our guide from yesterday. And it was Louise. Went over, said hello, and he's like, hey, amigo! So that was nice. It's a good
Yeah.
moment.
And even here, there's some crazy stray dogs just wandering around. I'm sure they're linked to somebody, but they're just doing their own thing, wandering around, even out here in the middle of nowhere.
Let's go and check out Cactus Island.
Turns out it's hot on Cactus Island, so we have just had to strip a few layers off. But it's so cool just walking in amongst all these cactus with that scenery behind us. Insane. Look at it all. Let's do a little 12 for you. This is just what we're walking around. Awesome.
Cactus Island definitely lives up to its name. It's absolutely epic. And just seeing the contrast of it with the white salt flats behind it. I was really looking forward to seeing it, having seen pictures, but it's even better than I imagined. Definitely worth coming to Cactus Island. This is awesome.
It's insane scenery.
I love a cactus as well.
And these ones are huge.
They
Like,
are
see that one?
epic cactus. It just seems with cactus, the more brutal the environment is, the stronger and the bigger they grow.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
there are some huge ones here. Mental.
And in the background you can just see those roads, or they're obviously not real roads, but well-used trails across the Salar going off into the distance, or you could say just off into the abyss. And when this lake was full of water, you can imagine this was a beautiful beach with just waves lapping up onto the shore.
Whoa, look at the size of this one, right in the middle of the park. Excuse me, Mr. Cactus.
Seems to be a little oasis for all these birds as well.
Wow. And at the top of Cactus Island, you've got a full panoramic 360 view of the salt flats going all the way around. Beautiful. And worth the hike at altitude.
This place is incredible. Never seen anything like it before. It's definitely taking its toll on our bodies though.
Yeah.
The altitude. Well, we need to get to a beach.
Yeah, we need a rest after this. It's been like hiking Patagonia, adventuring all around Argentina,
Long bus journeys.
Chile, and then altitude at El Tatio. Oh, it's been amazing, but yeah, we
Loving it,
each
not
time.
complaining, but yeah, wow. Too much of a good thing, you know?
Yeah, and also what's really amazing whenever you're out on salt flats, in the middle of the day you can just see a perfect shot of the moon. So you've got like beautiful white landscape, then beautiful crystal clear sky, and then you've just got the sun there and the moon looking glorious there.
Yeah,
It's just
it's epic. And you've just got the odd cloud hanging over the volcano or mountaintop on the horizon.
yeah,
But after this we're going to our final stop of the day,
sunset.
finding a nice spot to see sunset, so we haven't got too much longer here.
Yeah,
Yeah, but what a day, what a couple of days again. Incredible.
we're going to have to speed back down, which is not as easy as it sounds when we've both developed colds and we're at altitude, like 3,600 metres above sea level today. Not as high as yesterday, but still, you could feel it.
So out of breath.
Yeah. finish the hike with a nice little cactus gate. I say little, they're huge. What a nice ending.
Cactus Island, what a place.
Final stop of our Uyuni tour, and it is stunning. We've just watched the sun setting over the salt flats, and we've gone to like a wet part now, so it's going to be some really cool photos. We had to adorn some wellies, so I've got these nice cool white wellies because that's what was left. And yeah, just had a load of fun with like some little cool things that we were doing that our guide taught us, get some cool shots. And we're just going to enjoy this insane scenery. You can see the reflection when the sun goes down in this part of the world. It's stunning, the colours of the sky, and now you can see it reflected in the salt flats in the water. Just amazing. I hope it comes across well on camera because this place has been mind-blowing for us to see. We'll do our best to show you what we can. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe so you can see where we head off to next. We've got more exciting adventures here in Bolivia. And we're excited to get a bit lower. We're going to go somewhere with less altitude. So yeah, see you soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye! Salar de Uyuni is not only the world's largest salt flat, but also at certain times of the year becomes the world's largest natural mirror. Due to the flatness of this unique salty landscape, when the nearby lakes overflow during the rainy season, the flat transforms into a shallow lake, up to 20 inches deep. This thin layer of water transforms the area into a stunning reflection of the sky and makes the most beautiful setting to watch the sun go down and get some incredible pictures, which of course can be found all over social media, for good reason. To guarantee this type of reflective view, visitors are recommended to visit between March to May. However, we visited in June and were lucky enough to still have it. For us, this was the perfect way to end our 2-day tour here in Uyuni. But don't be fooled by the calmness and beauty of this scenery. It was absolutely freezing for all of us. So if you plan to come here, be sure to bring all the layers with you. We hope you've enjoyed seeing this incredible landscape with us, and if you did, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button so you can see where we head off to next. Thanks for watching!